up, Woodward? We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, what up, dope people? Welcome to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with the Woo crew.
Woo woo.
The sun is out, man. I'm looking at Flannel Sam up here on the desk with me, the vet of the squad, back with the Woo crew.
He glowing.
How you feeling, brother?
You know, I'm feeling good. Obviously, and we're going to get into it more later, I see this a lot throughout the chat, and I think people want to have this discussion with us. I just don't know what to make of this Tigers team. I'm happy that they're winning, but there's also some things going on outside of the actual game and with other teams that make me think I don't exactly even know what I would do if I were Scott Harris or the organization right now. So we'll discuss. It's kind of a day-by-day thing, but I obviously enjoy wins and I enjoy watching TARIK SKUBAL.
But you know what? What better way to discuss this thing and break this down than to have the entire Woo crew in the building? It's your boy Brandon there, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter. We got that dude Justin in the building as well, working hard as always. Mr. Matthew Broder, our credentialed Tigers and Lions reporter. What up, though?
What up, Del?
Them Tigers, man. I'm staying on the optimism train. You set this up, Broder.
My bad.
I bought in.
My bad.
Let's go.
My bad. It's such a fun team right now. It's polarizing, don't get me wrong. And this week, these next 7 days are going to be wild. But man, I just love seeing good baseball. Like, how exciting have these last couple weeks been, these last couple games? To think of how they won the game last night, we'll talk about in the next segment. Just like the most absurd things happened.
Bro, we've all looked like school kids who just heard it is time to go to recess. That's how we've been the couple days we've been in the office,
Factual.
in the studio. It's been like, you know what? Wow, the Detroit Tigers.
Crazy.
One game under 500. They beat the Guardians again. This gauntlet of a schedule is not looking so much like a gauntlet anymore.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna get into it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And for all the people who are already saying that I'm hating, there will be an entire segment where I sound like the biggest slappy in the world. Trust me. When I'm talking about just last night, when I'm talking about certain players that have been stepping up, I will sound like the biggest slappy in the world. I may even take another victory lap. Actually, I will. Find out who that's about in just about 10, 15 minutes or so.
Let's go. Shout out to this elite booth. Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. That is KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
Yes, sir. Eat 'em up, Tigers. Eat 'em up, man. Sam, you confused. Now, I've been confused for about 2 weeks now. I really don't know what the hell to do if you're the Tigers, man. You hear rumors that they got scouts at the Orioles AAA affiliate and things of that nature. It's heating up, man. It's heating up. Can't wait to get into it.
Well, and let me give this disclaimer to the fans as well, because for some reason, and I know that you guys do it with everybody, but you really like to do it with me. You're going to hang on every single word I say. If I'm positive today and they start losing, you're going to hold that over me. If I'm negative and they start winning, you're going to hold it over me. The reality is that if a couple of games go different, if a couple of results are changed, everything changes. If they all of a sudden go on, they lose the next couple, everything changes. If they win the next couple, everything changes. That's why on certain days I might sound different, because there's a game every single day. Yeah. And right now, when you're really at the pressure cooker, when the trade deadline is right around the corner, if one or two games goes differently, that could dictate the entire future of this franchise. That's baseball, though.
Yep.
That's baseball when you're a 500 team, when you don't exactly know if this is sustainable, what direction you're going into. But yeah, I don't want to give away too much. We're going to talk about that.
I wish I could bottle that up.
Yeah.
Everything you just said, I wish I could just bottle up and just feed to about 85% of the people out on social media. We're just like,
I see you out there, bro.
Why are you guys talking about the trade deadline? You want to trade all our players? No, the trade deadline is 7 days away, you freaking idiots.
Somehow, the guy who's been one of the loudest at saying we cannot trade SKUBAL, but realistically, this is how the landscape looks, has somehow now become the main face of trade SKUBAL.
Yeah, now Matt Broder wants SKUBAL off the team, right? Come on. No,
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. But it's this is an amazing, like literally, this could be franchise defining, franchise altering, whichever way. Whether they trade him or whether they don't, the decisions made at this deadline have like long-standing implications for this organization. That's the thing that makes baseball so interesting. The fact that the Tigers have something to talk about. SKUBAL's the number one sought-after name. It's the number one name everybody is talking about around the country. We just happen to be a Detroit sports talk show, and all the Tigers fans, they don't want to see him go. And I completely understand that, by the way. But to not like,
you got to be fair.
We can't not talk about the trade deadline. What are we going to talk about? Javi Baez for the 10 millionth time?
Javi watch.
I don't get it, man.
And you know what, man? Because I know we're going to talk a lot of Tigers today, but with these expectations, every single month that's gone by, I've heard KG in the booth like, even though we lament over their deficiencies, when Justin was going ham, he was like, but this is like the best April they've had. This is like the best May they've had in a long time. They've not been this far out, been this close to 500. And realistically, yes, they got some deficiencies that if you clean some things up, they're a much better team. And we know that, but these errors, the things that they've cost themselves, whether it be AJ Hinch and some questionable managing decisions at times, or whether it be kind of the errors or the things that they do to cost themselves some games. If just those things were cleaned up, this picture is completely different.
Yeah,
completely different.
And obviously they had some really bad offensive stretches where they just go zero. I think now, since they haven't done it in a while, they've still scored a 1 or less, 1 or 0 in 24 games and are 2-22 in those games. And I'll even say this, and I mentioned this on Big D Energy.
That is atrocious.
I've cooled my Hinch hate for now because even if some of the strings that he's pulling I don't like, at least when some of the lineup cards are put out, I'm like, oh my God, what is this? It could turn badly. Like Saturday, for example, when Green and Keith weren't in the starting lineup, it worked. And they're hotter than the surface of the sun right now. So obviously some of the strings that AJ Hinch is pulling are working. So AJ Hinch, if I was an asshole, I'd be like, I motivated you, man. You listen to me. Obviously I know that's not true, but for now, I'll cool on Hinch.
So Flannel Sam, Ron Holland, and AJ Hinch walk into a bar. You're buying the rounds, right?
I have to, right? At this point. Shout out AJ Hinch though. They're back to 1 game under 500. So
that's crazy.
Not terrible.
It's not crazy that they're there. It's crazy the way that they've gotten there. The wheels were just about to just be blown off, and now all of a sudden, during probably the toughest stretch of the season, here they are. But what up, though, to one of the toughest people here at Woodward Sports. Woodward Sports is MVP in the titty booth on a Tuesday. JB Smooth. I love the hat. I can't really see the shirt, but I see something on there.
Hat, got to rep the Lions. Shirt, let Hook cook, baby.
Oh, let's go.
I can't wait for this Flannel Sam trade talk that we're going to hear. I know it's just going to get out of hand and crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Matthew Broder, would you like to tell the people everything else we got on the menu today?
Definitely. We're starting with Tigers, the first 2 segments. Then we're going to get into Lions. There's some rumors going around training camp. The vets report today. So all of the Lions news is going to start to heat up. Like, we're left about 30 days. We're coming up. This Lions season is approaching fast, so we got to talk about them. There are trade rumors out there. That's part of it. Also, another NFC North team. They got a quarterback in a contract situation that we'll talk about. We are going to round off the second half of the show with some Pistons, talk about potential rotations, really set the stage for our conversation tomorrow with Rod Beard, where we're talking our Woodward Pistons segment where we're talking Summer League debrief.
Yeah, kind of like an outlook with the Pistons after Summer League, after the draft, after free agency, where we at right now, like the biggest questions that we got to answer, and then we can definitely talk about them with Rod.
Factual. And if you guys get hurt or are injured or need, not necessarily a doctor, but you need a nurse, you can go to Amon-Ra St. Brown's girlfriend now.
Word.
You can go to Brooklyn Adams.
Okay.
Amon-Ra's girlfriend just
Certified?
became a registered nurse. She passed her NCLEX, her nursing exam. So she's an official nurse on social media. You know, her family and the St. Browns, they were having a little party. So just wanted to shout you out. St. Brown's a friend of the network, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Brooklyn Adams. I also got a question for you guys.
It's always
And-
dope to hear people succeeding, man.
Yeah, especially like there's been a lot of Kelly Trouba slander thrown out these days, and like, you know, the wives of our favorite players or players in professional sports.
Cough, cough.
They have lives too. They have lives too. And I knew a lot of nurses or friends studying for their NCLEX, you know, in nursing school, in college. It's a grind, man.
Yeah.
And this world needs good nurses. There's nothing like a good nurse when you get one. That's a job. That's a job.
That's a job.
That's a job. So I from what I could see on Netflix, I think she's going to be a great nurse.
Dope.
So we'll see. We'll
Dope.
see. But boys, not to get political, and I'm going to request not to get political with it. But I'm going to ask you a political question. If you were running for president, I want you to pick one assistant coach on the current Detroit sports teams as who you think would be your best VP, and tell me why.
Oh, Luke Walton. Luke Walton. Let's go, man. Come on. Son of the legendary Bill Walton. Yes. Let's go, Luke. We're going to be up there on the podium. He can handle a lot of these things. He can look very, very presidential for me as well. And I think that Luke Walton, who's been known to be a pretty good basketball strategist, as well as an individual who found himself as the head coach of the LA Lakers. Come on, man. That's going to give me some great mojo because I don't know quite how he got there, but I need whatever the secret sauce is.
That's fair. I am going to go with Ben Johnson as mine. I think he would be a nice compliment to me. He's definitely one of those guys who you look at and has the temperament. He's presidential. He's cerebral. And you talked about strategy, the way that he was able to put together those that playbook and call plays. That can translate
He's
over
loyal, too.
Hey, yes, that can translate over to a political strategizing, right?
Right.
I just think somebody like that in my corner, because there are going to be moments where I probably get a little bit out there and wild during my rallies and whatnot and my speeches. I need somebody like Ben Johnson to sometimes be my brain and sometimes be like the yin to my yang and just to calm me down a bit. And like I said, Ben Johnson, he's just got that face and that temperament and those smarts that you just want to trust, right?
We got
Right.
long drink, sleeveless flannel as the president. Bro, I want to live in that world.
Hey, I think the world would be a little better. I mean, some people might disagree, but you know, I don't know. You never tried it though. I'm gonna be 35 soon. I'll be 35 in a couple of years.
What you got to lose? Trump voice.
What do we have to lose?
We got a couple Ben Johnsons in the chat. I like that. Steve DeYoung says Dave Fit because those fake punts translate to political strategy.
Okay.
KG, JB.
KG, well, who other than Motor City Dan Campbell? Me and Dan Campbell.
Calvin
Assistant coach.
Oh, assistant. coach.
Assistant.
Sorry.
Come on, your doppelganger.
All right,
Yeah.
Terrell Williams.
Okay.
He's
Calvin
Terrell
Shepard is
Williams.
disappointed.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, man. But you know, you the linebacker guy, so I expect you to pick Kelvin Shepard. But me,
No, I'm disappointed.
me and Terrell Williams, man, we gonna build up the line like we build up the community. And yeah, man, I think he'll be a solid running mate. He's very disciplined, very militant in how he thinks and moves. So he'll be a perfect compliment to me because I'm fiery, man. I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna give it to you real every time.
Wait, hold on, bro. You cheated. You already got campaign lines.
Listen, man. What?
Build up the community?
Like we
Like
build
you
up the
build-
line. Like, yo, I don't understand that.
I would vote for you. I like it.
Thank you.
JB Smooth, what up, though?
Oh man, all the good ones have really been taken. I know there's still a ton out there. Ben Johnson is a good one. I think I'm gonna have to roll with Super Bowl champion Antoine Randall L. Your wide receivers
okay.
coach for the Detroit Lions. Hey,
That's our goal.
he was
right
tough back in the day. I guarantee you he'll be tough on this campaign trail. So that's my running mate.
Wow.
there. Do we have a hockey
No.
entrant?
He's not. We're not taking time on that over there. I'm going with Scotty Montgomery. I did not consider Antoine Randall. You factor in his ability to play quarterback and receiver, and Antoine Randall. That's a good one. I'm going with Scotty Montgomery. You know, if something were to ever happen to me, that's the type of guy I want running this country. You know, just no muss, no fuss, a lot of energy. I think other countries would be scared of that man. Scotty Montgomery would be my VP 2024.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Back some Tigers.
I like that, man. That was a cool question, man.
Yeah.
It's part of our warm-up. It's part of our layup lines, man.
And you guys did a good job of not, like, getting political with it. See a few comments in the chat that are like, you know, but
That's
hey,
not
it's
really.
election year. Let's have some fun with it.
Let's have some fun. Yeah, it's not as if it's not happening.
Yeah. There's been a lot of turmoil, especially in the last couple of weeks. So we can have some fun and bring some brightness to the topic compared to Lions coaches. And I should have picked Fetter. Shouldn't I have?
Oh, probably, but that's all right. Scotty Montgomery's a good choice.
Yeah.
Chris
Anyways,
Fetter.
we're going to talk about Fetter probably in one of the next two segments.
Chris Fetter, that's a good one. But you know what? He's one of the best. One of the best. I can tell you about something else that's the best as well. That is Premier Pet Supply. It is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They offer you the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and the big box retailer with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years. They carry over 60 brands of food and they have nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. Visit them online as well. PremierPetSupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out PremierPetSupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive right down the legendary Woodward Avenue, the legendary, the historic, all 4 pro sports teams on one street, all within walking distance of each other. Only city like that in America, man. It's an awesome thing. That's why we got to get these teams back winning. The Tigers are doing their part right now. They are one game under 500. We all sat here maybe about a week or two ago and wondered what things would look like here because we knew the schedule on the way was a tough one. But they've handled it. They've dominated. They've won 11 of their last 14 games.
Yes, and first I want to talk about TARIK SKUBAL, and then I want to get Matt Broder's expert opinion on his start last night. It wasn't his best stuff. He allowed 10 hits. It seemed like there was always traffic on the base paths, but SKUBAL was able to pitch around it. 7 innings, only 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and to me, that's a mark of a great pitcher. When you don't have your best stuff, when you have to throw a lot of high leverage pressure pitches, you can still do it, and you can get out of jams, you can make key outs, and that is what TARIK SKUBAL did. Matt Broder, what did you think of TARIK SKUBAL's outing last night?
Exactly just that. It wasn't his best stuff. He didn't have his best command or his best out pitches. He had a couple nasty changeups, but it wasn't like his best overall performance. But that's the the calling card for an ace. When you don't have your best stuff, you can go out there and figure out a way to win. His only 1-2-3 inning was in the first inning, and I think he threw 12 pitches. Then he had like a 35 pitch inning, and you're like, man, can he get through 5? Like, this is what the other part of what makes him a great ace. The part of what makes him so special. First game of a 4-game series against a conference or a division rival. He ends up extending that, going 7 full innings, finding a way to get ground balls and to get out of innings. I thought it was a vintage ace-like, bulldog-like outing. He didn't look that great, and he found a way to win.
Being able to tough out 7 innings, man, and being able to hand it over to your bullpen for the 8th and the 9th. That's what I love about SKUBAL. Whether he's on fire, whether he has his stuff working or not, he always finds a way to kind of go the distance as a starting pitcher.
Well, that's the thing. It's almost, at least from an outsider's perspective, Broder, you might be able to back me up on this. To me, as somebody who's watched baseball for many, many years, it's almost impossible, at least from what I've seen, to throw 7 innings, allow 10 or more hits, but also limit your pitch count to under 100. Hey, and TARIK SKUBAL did it. It wasn't like he really overextended himself or anything. 97 pitches is fine for SKUBAL. And he was able to do it despite constantly having traffic all over the base pass. I remember when the Tigers took a 4-0 lead, and then in the bottom, I believe it was the bottom of the second or the bottom of the third, the Cleveland had bases loaded, 1 out, and TARIK SKUBAL was only yielded 1 run, which is exactly what you need. Because at that point, you're like, you got the tying run up. You obviously trust SKUBAL, but maybe he just doesn't have it today. But SKUBAL was able to get out of it. And the Tigers did what they did. They provided plenty of run support. And while we're on that run support, I got to talk my shit about Mark Canha. All of you guys, all across the Detroit sports media, all of the people that I see in the chat, some people at this network, all I ever hear about is how Mark Canha was this horrible signing and that he might as well be Javier Canha or Mark Baez, as I said yesterday on Big D Energy.
Yeah, Neil.
It's funny. I look yesterday after today. I look today after last night's win, in which Mark Canha went 3 for 4 with a double, and I see the number 342 next to his on-base percentage. 342. By the way, that is second best on this team right now. If Mark Canha wasn't on this team, you would not be in the position you are right now. I understand he struggled a bit in the months of May and June, but in July, he's really refound his form, and you won a lot of games in the month of April because of Mark Canha. Not only because of Mark Canha, but over the totality of a season, his on-base percentage is 342, which is 20th in the whole bleeping American League. It's better than Salvador Perez. It's better than Adley Rutschman. It's better than Jose Ramirez. It's better than Josh Naylor. It's better than Marcus Semien. It's better than Alex Bregman. And you know who else it's better than? It's better than Matt Chapman. It's better than Justin Turner. And it's better than Cody Bellinger. So for all you motherfuckers, all you motherfuckers, and I understand, you know, a guy like Matt Chapman is having a good season in a lot of ways, and if he was on this team, it would help. But not at the expense of Mark Canha. If you were going to get Matt Chapman, you would want them both on this team. So for all of the people who just slander Mark Canha constantly and just act like he's a bum and act like he was this terrible signing by Scott Harris, you know what? You're not allowed to cheer for him. Hey, you're not allowed. You're done.
Were those bars?
I would say so.
You know what else I heard yesterday when I was
still going?
You know what?
Get
him!
You know the bonus track.
Get him!
You know what else I heard yesterday on when I was watching watching the YouTube live stream of a certain 97.1 show, the Valenti show with Rico. Ooh. Of course, after
everybody's getting it today.
Of course, after 4 o'clock, after I watched Ermanni and Edwards.
You didn't watch
with,
that like
with
4:10, did you?
Well, there was about 4:10. Well, there was a certain
a nice little convo with Mike.
Well, there was a caller that called, and when they were talking about trade chips, the caller, because a lot of them are just stupid. I hate to be mean, but a lot of them are stupid. He said, "Mark Canha, I don't even know who would want them." What the fuck are you talking about? You know who would want Mark Canha? The Baltimore Orioles would kill for Mark Canha. Have you seen Cedric Mullins? Have you seen Jorge Mateo? The Los Angeles Dodgers, as I said yesterday, would murder their mother for Mark Canha. Have you seen Jason Hayward? Have you seen Chris Taylor? Have you seen James Outman? Have you seen Gavin Lux?
He's the old one.
The New York Yankees would also murder their mother for Mark Canha. Have you seen Alex Verdugo? Have you seen DJ LeMahieu? Have you seen Trent Grisham? Have you seen Osvaldo Cabrera? Have you seen Anthony Rizzo when he plays? Right now, he's hurt.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
The Philadelphia Phillies would murder their mother for Mark Canha. Have you seen Nick Castellanos? Have you seen Christian Pache? Have you seen Johan Rojas? My point is that stop slandering Mark Canha. Stop treating him like he's the worst player ever. Stop treating him like he was a Scott Harris disaster. Every single contending team would want Mark Canha on them.
100%.
The Detroit Tigers are grateful, and I think they feel grateful that Mark Canha is on their team. Where would the Tigers be without him? I'll tell you what, they'd be at least 3 or 4 games worse, and I guarantee it, because that's what it's like when you have a .342 on-base percentage. That's your value when you have the second highest on-base percentage on the entire team after Riley Green. So just had to get my shit off about Mark Canha a little bit.
Hey, you know what? Thank everything for the Lions. But this is how you know. This is how you know that Detroit sports has broken people. Because we used to be the place that even the most role player of all role players would get all the love from us, and now we're acting picky and choosy. It's a crazy thing, to the point that even players that are making a difference and an impact, we're just like, discard them to the Wolves.
Well, yes, and I see Rando Smalls in the chat. Canha will be traded to the Phillies. I thought nobody wanted him. I'm not saying you said that. I thought nobody wanted him. I thought he was basically that hypothetical bag of chips or bag of bones. The Philadelphia Phillies, they might already be in the NL. Their World Series odds would go up with Mark Canha, not down. Do you think that they want to trot out Johan Rojas on a semi-everyday basis? Of course they don't. He is an absolute bum. But my point is that Mark Canha is not that. Mark Canha has now an OPS over 700. Johan Rojas is in like the 530s. Every single lineup across even the contenders have guys on their lineup that are replaceable with the Mark Canha. I just gave you 4 examples of 4 teams that all you hear about is Mark Canha would be like a 5th outfield on a contender. As Donald Trump once said in a debate, wrong.
Bars.
Oh shit.
Bars. Okay, so I get it. You just missed like the last 3 Bar Kings and then absolutely unload today.
Ether.
Yes.
Cook Ether.
He's spitting facts.
He is.
Just to back him up, everything Flannel just said is correct. He's the type of bat, the type of player every contending team would want. I'd almost go as far to say Urshela is almost there too. I like Canha a little bit better, but Urshela's ability to play the infield and just being a professional, hasn't been all that great all season with the Tigers. They're both pros. They're both professional hitters that can put the bat on the ball when you need them to. Every contending team wants that in the playoffs.
Well, and go ahead.
See here on Mark, he said, Flannel thinks Ben Wallace and D-Mac were dog shot, and he's acting like Canha is a superstar.
Nothing about those statements is true. I don't think Ben Wallace and Darren McCarty were a dog shit, and I don't think Mark Canha is a superstar. What I've always said is that he offers a particular set of skills that have helped the Tigers and would help a contending team. He's also a veteran bat who has been through this before. If you were to sell Mark Canha, which I'm not advocating, but you might get a pretty good return, you saw what he did last year for the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers weren't always leaders in that division. The Cubs were for a while. And obviously the Cubs imploded a little bit, but Mark Canha's contribution was one of the driving forces to why they were able to win that division and get into the playoffs. All I'm saying, I'm not saying he's a superstar. I'm just saying don't throw him out like he's trash. He is a very, very good Major League Baseball player, and he's having a good season overall. Don't let those moments where he was struggling and the Tigers offense was struggling cloud your judgment. Don't just look at his batting average and his home runs. Look just a little bit deeper, and you'll find that Mark Canha is a player that the Tigers are lucky that they have, and any contending team would kill for a Mark Canha.
Hey, you gotta have to do your 3-point celebration. That's why we need to be.
Well, I don't even know.
Just.
Oh yeah, and by the way, before we talk about the season as a whole and what this all means, because I'm not going to be as positive and as victory lappy. Another thing that I want to point out and kind of ask everybody in here, are we sure that Justin Henry Malloy and Wensiel Perez are not part of the core?
Thank you.
Are we sure?
Yeah, let's
Are
talk
we
about
positive?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Because Perez showed up all over the box sheet yesterday for the Tigers, man.
Well, that's the thing. I keep people seem to keep waiting for Wenceel Perez's downfall. And there have been even moments during this season where I've kind of been like, is he for real or is he the next Akil Badu? But I'm looking at his numbers, I'm looking at his slash line, I'm looking at his consistency, and I'm like, and this isn't Colt Keith hate, I know this will be taken as that. His on-base percentage and OPS is still higher than Colt Keith's, despite Colt Keith's scorching hot month of July.
I don't think it's hate. You're just making the case.
I'm just making the case that everybody is just going crazy over Colt Keith, and rightfully so for the month of July. But Wenceel Perez may be a part of this core. Same with Justin Henry Malloy. I look up after that home run and then following that grand slam on Sunday's game, and I see an OPS of 770, which is also higher than Colt Keith's. 317 on base percentage, which is something we were excited about, something that was kind of promised by his AAA play that has translated into the big leagues. The man just knows how to take a walk. The man is patient. The man gets on base. He gets on base and he slugs. Would we like that average to be up a little bit? Of course we would. But he's made the most of the time he barrels up the ball. I'll just say that.
Preaching. And you know why? Because the Detroit Tigers have been absolutely scorching hot, 11 or 14. We got more Tigers in the next segment. We got Detroit Lions. We got Detroit Pistons, man. But first, let me tell you guys about something that you listen, pay attention, guys. This is something that you definitely want to be a part of. It is the Ally Challenge presented by McLaren. It's back August 22nd through the 25th at Warwick Hills. Leave golf to the pros and don't miss the party at 17. $2 birdie beers, concerts, and more. Get your tickets at allychallenge.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward, people. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off today with the Woo Crew. We have the entire squad in the building, all the starting 5 plus 6 man, and I guess that's the head coach too. That dude Justin, Flannel Sam. We got KG in the sound booth. We got JB Smooth, Woodward Sports MVP in the Diddy booth, and we also got our credentialed Tigers and Lions reporter and writer Matthew Broder. It's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer. And we're talking more Detroit Tigers, but chat Femi, you guys are the most important part of this Woo Crew thing. I need you guys to go on ahead and smash that like button, satisfy that like button. You guys already know. KG, you want to talk to him?
02 Tuesday. Make it feel good.
Just satisfied, I like budding, yeah. Let's go. Hit that like button, y'all. You already know what it is. And hit that like button for the Detroit Tigers. And you posed a question before the break. We said we would get into it in this next segment as well as it relates to Winsell Perez.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he's somebody who you at least have to consider a part of the core moving forward. As I said before, his slash lines are currently better than Colt Keith's. Not Colt Keith hate. It's just throughout Colt Keith's hot stretch, Winsell Perez has still remained consistent enough to maintain the very good rookie season that he's having.
Yeah.
Along with Justin Henry Malloy's very good rookie season and Colt Keith's very good rookie season, you've got more players in your core than you think. Obviously, Riley Green is a part of it, and guys like SKUBAL, maybe Reese Olson. There's a lot to build around. No matter what you do, no matter if you buy or sell, I think regardless of what happens, there are pieces to build around. No matter what. I don't think any scenario, because I see in the chat that, I'll just give you an example. If they trade SKUBAL, it's going to set the franchise back 5 years. If you get a haul from the Orioles, it certainly is not. But if you keep them, there are more options than you hear about on certain stations and certain other shows on this network. I'll just say that. The Tigers are all right. They're in an okay position regardless of what they do.
Yeah, and it was cool kind of following that game last night because when Perez plays, he usually shows up in the scoring summary this way multiple times. It's like 6th inning, Perez double the center, kind of scores. Perez the third. Urshela hits a sacrifice fly to left. Perez scores. Urshela hits a sacrifice fly to right. Perez scores. It's cool to see these young players really making an impact on this team and not just like, okay, they're playing good, but it's in a vacuum because the team sucks. Yeah. It's like, no, they're literally competing right now to get back into this wild card race, and they're getting contributions from players like this. And you're right. At what point in time do they fall off? I know that's what some people are probably wondering, questioning, thinking. But he just continues to be consistently Perez.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I want to get Matt Broder's opinion on this because I know that we're all happy that the Tigers are the hottest team in baseball right now. Although one of the other hottest teams in baseball is the Royals, who the Tigers are chasing in the wild card. But that's kind of part of the problem because we love what they've done. 8-2 to end the first half, 3-1 to start the second half. But you still look at those standings and you see a 6 where the number of games back is, and you're like, man, it feels like they were 6 games out damn near when they were 9 games under 500, and they're still 6 games out. I know that's not true, but that's the crux of other teams can get hot too. You're chasing a bunch of teams. So how are you feeling today?
That's the polarizing part of it. It's like, man, they're so hot, but there are so many teams ahead of them. So many teams they're battling with for that wild card spot. So as hot as they've been playing, and Flynn and I were talking before the show, it's like, we look back on this stretch that they've been on, and like last night, all of a sudden, we think, they'll gain a game or two, or with this weekend series of the Blue Jays, they'll gain 2-3 games by starting out of the break, going 3-4, and all of a sudden, they're only 1 game. Mm-hmm. Well, they only gain 1 game. They're only up to 6. It's such a difficult situation to be in because right now they're playing well, and we all want to. I'll say the buy word. We want them to like go for it, or at least not concede this season, which I hate to say the SKUBAL trade would concede the season. Doesn't mean that it's not the right thing or that different story. They now in the next 3 games they have 2 bullpen days like scheduled. We're talking a bullpen day today. Flaherty's pitching. He might not be on the team next week, and then a bullpen day Thursday. So it's just very difficult to find that path. But at the same time, it's so exciting because they're figuring out ways to win. I don't have an opinion on it right now. I just hope they make the right moves for the long-term future of this team.
That component of it, just real quick, where you said they're finding ways to win, that's the component of it that makes me very, very optimistic because you're right. When you continue to break down, Broder, and I've heard you as well, Flannel, break down what their options actually are to improve this team, what the windows actually look like, it's a lot more muddy than a lot of us really, as fans, want to admit. And so the fact that we know, okay, they at least have found some nucleus to be able to win some games, even though they're still kind of in this muddy of a mess, it makes me more optimistic moving forward that whatever moves they make, even if it's a trading SKUBAL, that they'll still find a way to try and get some wins done. Hopefully it's with a little bit more bats, and shoring up some of those kind of self-inflicted wounds with the errors and such.
Well, and that's the point that I was about to make, is because I don't think the cupboard is as bare within the Tigers and what they have right now and organizationally as some people believe. Especially, I think people are excited about the future of like Max Clark, Joe McGonigal, and Young, but I think there's still people that think that this lineup is always going to be lesser than. But what I saw yesterday after last night's game is that 8 players currently playing for the Detroit Tigers, and this does not include Kerry Carpenter, and this does not include Ryan Valade, who just got sent down. 8 players have OPSs over 700. That is remarkable consistency, and they do have a star in Riley Green. Everybody else's is sub 800, but still 700 or more is a really good OPS, especially if you get it across your entire lineup. And even with Reese Olson going down, you still have one of the better 1-2 punches in terms of top-end starters in Major League Baseball. But as Broder said, you might have to have a couple bullpen days after that, at least for now. But speaking of the bullpen, Tyler Holton's been rolling in July. Shelby Miller, Will Vest, Andrew Chafin. A lot of them have really found their way after having some struggles at some points during the season. All of them have had some struggles at some point in the season, but in July, they are absolutely red hot. They can do this. They can do what I wanted them to do, which is out of the All-Star break, go 10-6 in those 16 games, 13 of them against divisional opponents. If they do that, I can pretty much guarantee that they're going to pick up a couple of more games. And they started off this 3-1, so 10-6 is very, very doable. And also, you've got a lot of games coming up in the second half against the dog shit of Major League Baseball. You got 7 against the White Sox, 3 at home versus the Angels, 3 at Oakland, and 3 versus Colorado. That's 16 games. So if you go 10-6 in this stretch they're currently on against mostly divisional opponents,
wade water.
And then if you, in those 16 games against the dog shit of the dog shit, go like 12-4 or 13-3, I think they will make the playoffs. However, the conflict is that this stretch goes past the trade deadline.
Yep.
You have to figure some things out before the trade deadline. If you don't make it, if you decide to keep Jack Flaherty, and even if you get 85 wins and don't make the wild card and don't re-sign Jack Flaherty, that would be a mistake. Because I'll just include Flaherty, Canna, and Carson Kelly, and even Gio Urshela and Shelby Miller. They can get you some prospects in return. My personal preference is to sell on Urshela and Shelby Miller. And I think Urshela packaged with Ryan Valade could get you a top 100 prospect. I've given you examples of that trade before, trading them to the Mariners for a Seattle shortstop prospect, number 90, Felon and Celestin. And I think you could trade Shelby Miller to the Kansas City Royals, a team that needs bullpen help. He has a club option next season, which is attractive for a team, for their number 4 prospect, a starting pitcher, which could replenish their farm system in terms of pitchers, if you make the Tommy Pham trade that I want the Tigers to make regardless, in which you trade them Ty Madden, your number 5 prospect pitcher, and Justice Bigby, your number 10 prospect hitter. I know that's a lot to unpack, but when you're a team like the Tigers who are so hot right now, and we're enjoying watching them so much, but they're still not likely to make the playoffs, there's a lot of gears shifting in this brain of mine right now. And I know you guys are feeling it too. I know all you guys in this room are feeling it too.
That was going to be my question to Broder as well as KG and anybody else is Flannel just laid out the Flannel way. The 10-6, and then dominate the back end of your schedule here in the second half of the season. Broder, how confident are you that the Detroit Tigers can do it based on what you've seen so far? Like we said, we thought the wheels were going to pop off. Do they have that extra gear in your mind to be able to make sure they maintain and still handle business against some of the weaker teams, which, for better or worse, we've seen the Tigers struggle with some of those weaker teams.
Yeah, that's the key. It's against some of the weaker teams. I'm optimistic in these guys, but I'm not confident they can keep this up over a bigger sample size. Like to get to where they need as a team, they got to play 700 baseball for the remainder of the season, and all these guys need to keep hitting how they're hitting. But even you look at last night. Exciting game. You saw things from many different players, but we're talking home runs from Colt Keith, Wenceel Perez, and inside the Parker from Jake Rogers. Those are 2 rookies. As Jake Rogers, like you can't count on that every single day. It's not like we have Riley Green's as close to that consistent, number 3 hitter in the middle of the lineup as you can ask. So my confidence that they can keep it up, I feel a little better over a 2-month sample size, at least on the offensive end. But what they're evaluating too is who is going to be those guys that we can build around that can keep it up for an entire season? Can Cole Keith have a full season, hitting around 300 next year? Can Wenzel Perez, can Justin Henry Malloy get his batting average up? He's doing some awesome things. And by the way, I meant Malloy and not Wenzel Perez with the home run. It's so difficult because these guys are so young, and we know Scott Harris is just in total evaluation mode. Does he have enough evaluated before this deadline to consider some of these guys, as part of that core to build around, or what do you do? It's polarizing. It's fascinating.
So at the very least, though, we're hoping that this is their kind of 9-8 season for the Detroit Tigers. Do you think that they're at least there? Maybe just outside of the playoffs, but they've shown enough of a foundation that you're like, you know what? Okay, they're on their way.
The problem is, though, and this is where I feel like I'm arguing against myself, but how could you not at this point? If they're that 9-8 team that misses the playoffs, I'll give the example of, let's just say the Detroit Tigers finish the season strong, finish the season playing really good baseball, and end up 84-78 in maybe 3 or 4 games out of the last wild card spot, and you don't sell anybody. What if you can't re-sign Flaherty? What if you can't re-sign Kelly? What if you can't re-sign Canna? Then that will be a mistake. So if you're Scott Harris right now, I could just imagine he's damn near pulling his hair out with everything that's going on, because the Tigers, throughout their hot stretch, as much as we love it, as much as watching the Tigers right now is like a joyful event, pretty much the whole month of July, it also makes things a lot less clear if you're a Tigers fan, if you're managers, players, or specifically the front office or ownership. It's a good problem to have, but that's why this trade deadline is so important. It would really behoove the Tigers to maybe take 3 out of 4 from Cleveland and then 2 out of 3 from a Minnesota, and then maybe you could justify. I said 10-6. Asking them to do both things I just asked them to do is it's a big ask, as Lomas Brown once said.
But they've been doing it.
Yeah, they have. We'll see.
Whew. Man, you know what? I saw a comment here. I gotta talk about. Oh, Xavier D. The Tigers are worth talking about.
Yes.
LFG.
Finally.
They are.
Yeah.
They're exciting. They're fun. And there's so many things that can happen. And as I said before, and Broder, before we go to break, I want to get your opinion on what I'm about to say.
Oh, boy.
I don't think anything that they do is catastrophic no matter what, based off of the fact that maybe I'm higher on what they have internally than others. Do you agree with that or no?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
I think you have to trade Flaherty, Canna, or Shell. I think you got to trade your 1-year contracts. To keep them, not get anything for it, and then to miss a playoff berth, a wild card spot, and then they all walk anyway. Like, this was the plan all along, to bring these guys in. I swear, if Reese Olson was healthy, if we knew he was healthy for the next 2 months, which he might be, this could be a completely different story. But that's where I stand now. And no, Matthew Kruger is not hating. Sorry, I'm being honest, bro.
Jesus Christ. No, there's Matt Broder, Tiger hating? Come on.
Come on, bro.
You could accuse me of doing it at some points this year, but certainly not Broder. Like, I'll fully admit that I buried him a couple of times. So if you want to say I'm flip-flopping, go ahead. But I've also admitted that I was wrong in doing so. And it's also on the record that I no longer believe A.J. Hinch should be fired. I was wrong. And no, I'm not going to be all, like, dickish and say I motivated him. They played better, so I was wrong.
I mean, look, he gets his coffee right there. Maybe he watches the show as well.
But that's just not my style. As much as you think it's my style, it's not.
Flannel has motivated me. We're going to go on a run.
And some of the things he's doing that are working, I don't even agree with until they work. And then I'm like, okay, you must know something I don't.
Okay.
I didn't agree with taking Keith and Green out of the lineup on Saturday, but it worked. And there was a method behind that madness, and it worked. I certainly didn't agree with the lineup that was trotted out there on Sunday with my mailman at first base and McKinstry and Baez, but they won 2 out of 3 from Toronto. So that's all I'm going to say.
You know what, man? With at least 3 of our 4 teams, I am really, really, really liking the coaching right now, or at least the prospects, the potential.
Fair enough, yeah.
I really do. A.J. Hinch is proving that he is exactly who we thought he was in the beginning. There were some bumpy times, but some of that might be due to the roster construction. But we will see if the Tigers do anything to affect that here really, really soon. Broder, before we go to break, do you know how many days before the MLB trade deadline?
1 week, 7 days. Wow. Next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Fireworks, man. So it's not only what the Tigers are doing on the field, but what can happen off the field as it relates to these moves.
SKUBAL's scheduled to start Saturday. Flaherty's scheduled to start Wednesday and Monday.
Wow. Things are going to heat up really, really soon. But you know what?
Hot.
I appreciate you guys for staying tapped in. We got a lot more on the docket. Detroit Lions, the other Jungle Cats on the way with Wake Up Woodward. You guys already know. We try to give you guys the best Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. The entire Woo crew. Thank you guys for supporting us. Go on ahead and hit that like button as well. And after you're done watching Wake Up Woodward, stay tapped in with all of Woodward Sports. Check in with Big D Energy first, 11-1. 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty alongside the Golden Voice Neil Rule. After that, Ermanni and Edwards with Mass from 2 to 4. You get the lovable radio legend Tom Masway, University of Michigan legend and former NFL wide receiver Braylon Edwards, Detroit Media King, Fox 2 Ryan Ermanni. After that, 5 to 7 Woodward heavyweights in the day with the big fellas. You got Spimo Racks and Speak Easy, their elite booth, Nick Koloff and Chris Platty, bringing you the biggest interviews, breakdowns, and laughs. That's the Woodward heavyweights. Most importantly, thank you guys for choosing to make Woodward Sports your #1 digital sports outlet.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Dealing with the divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code right there above my head or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
KDK Law, they got your back. Woodward Sports got your back. You know what? Soroki's, they can have your back for lunch as well. So definitely, man, if you need them, support the sponsors. Fire food as well as Soroki's. But welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys as always for supporting the Woo crew. Go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't. Hey, you guys see JB Smooth cooking already. Lions versus Rams in 47 freaking days. Ooh. Football is in the air, man. Like I already told you guys, my birthday's on the 7th. I get Hendon Hooker season on the 8th.
Whew.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hooker. I can't wait. I see the shirt, JB. Hey, show them the shirt one more time before we get into this Detroit Lions
let
talk.
Hook cook.
Let Hook cook. Let Hook cook. Hey, but did you guys hear these rumors? Brandon AIYUK to the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Broder, do you have any of the details on that?
No, just that the rumors. Sorry, let me. I'll write in the notes.
That the Lions had the interest.
I don't think it'll happen though. But
No, so yeah, you've been seeing Brandon AIYUK rumors to the Lions, along with other teams, by the way. And I believe Woodward Sports put out a potential trade package that it would take to get a Brandon AIYUK. And one of the things was a future first, which to me, that's a conversation ender right there. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong. It's the beauty of professional football, especially in the salary cap era. In a vacuum, would I love Brandon AIYUK on this team? Yes, he's a great player. He's a 1,000-yard receiver. The San Francisco 49ers don't go as far as they do last year without a Brandon AIYUK. You think of Brandon AIYUK and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Laporta in the same offense, and you're drooling. I understand that. However, the 49ers aren't willing to give him what he wants money-wise.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Bucky Brooks of NFL.com. he shared 5 teams as a potential landing spot, with Detroit as one of them, the Lions, Commanders, Patriots, Steelers, and Giants.
Yeah.
And that's the question, is just how realistic is it to make this trade? And that's where the conversation for me, it's always going to revolve for this Detroit Lions team during this time. Does it help them win a Super Bowl? If that's the answer, if it's a yes, then I do believe it's something that you have to think about. You gotta, it's a little bit more than just saying, you know what, it doesn't fit our long-term window for what we want to do in the future. But if it can help them get to and win the Super Bowl this year, isn't that something that you have to really seriously consider?
And with the right package to give them, yes, because Woodward and AIYUK make this a Super Bowl team. Just if you're talking about plug-and-play players, I think yes. Although the Lions culture and the Lions, what they're trying to build, I think the fact that Brandon AIYUK is asking for a trade from San Francisco because he's not getting enough money, I think that that's something that is a red flag for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and the entire front office. I think it's so red that a bull would charge it right now how big the red flag is, for real. Because, and also, Brad Holmes has obviously proved his prowess as a phenomenal drafter. I mean, you got a receiver in the 4th round in 2021 who's better than Brandon AIYUK. And don't get me wrong, Brandon AIYUK and Amon-Ra St. Brown on the same offense could be potentially electric, but if you have to give up too much, I don't think that's something that the Lions would do.
Nah, I'm in total agreement. A 1st-round pick is way too steep for somebody that may be a number 1 receiver, but is really categorized as like a number 2, number 3 guy. So if I'm going to spend that type of capital to go after a player, I'd much rather it be an impact player, and I'd much rather it be on defense than offense. Because essentially with a deal like that, you would be giving up on J-Mo, who, you know, by all accounts, you drafted him in the 1st round. You drafted him to be that 1 or 2 guy. I know he hasn't shown it to this point, but I'm not ready to necessarily give up on J-Mo just yet, especially seeing that this is the year he's supposed to take a step in that role. So I would avoid that, especially for a 1st-round pick. I just think that's too steep.
That was the question I was going to ask as well, is I do wonder, with the stated and the reported belief that the Detroit Lions have in J-Mo, they're talking about not just we believe he's going to produce this year, but that he can be a bona fide number 2, and that means that if Amon-Ra has to miss a game, this is going to have to be a guy that we believe can step up and be that number 1. I wonder how much this speaks to their belief in J-Mo that much more. And if J-Mo wasn't someone that they did believe in, is this a deal that becomes something the Lions almost have to do?
Well, I actually found the package that was said, at least on what we put out on our X page.
And this is completely unrealistic.
Yes, and it was Lions get Brandon AIYUK, and the 49ers get a 2025 first and a 2025 first and second, which is basically that's depleting your draft next season. And oh, by the way, just another quick caveat to it before I turn it over to Matt Broder. It's not just that's a lot to give up. It's that you just gave long-term expensive deals to Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jared Goff. You're probably going to give one to Aiden coming up soon. Hell, you might give one to one of Aleem or Iffy, depending on how this season goes. And by the way, in your last draft that you had, not the last one, the 2023 one, in which you actually saw them play their rookie seasons, you have 2 guys who by the time they're up for an extension might be damn near the best at their position, Sam Laporta and Brian Branch, and neither of them have 5th-year options. Yep. So you're going to have to be paying hefty contracts, multiple of them soon. That's the unintended consequence of drafting so well. Yep. And Brandon AIYUK, he's somebody that if the 49ers aren't willing to give him what he wants, I don't think the Lions would, especially since he's not proven in a Lions uniform. He's obviously proven in the NFL. Broder?
Yeah. I was just going to say really quickly that I think the other component here is just the fact that the Detroit Lions are already supposed to be a Super Bowl contender as is right now. They can get there right now. And I do believe they have enough to win it right now. Yep. You can put them over the edge, but
I'll be quick. There's a 0% chance this trade happens of any variety. Why would the 49ers trade him to the Lions?
And help us.
He's more valuable not playing on their roster than giving him to the team they expect to see in the NFC Championship at the end of the season. And you wouldn't say no to a 1st and a 2nd rounder. That you probably run and make that trade regardless if it's the Lions. That's not happening. Why would you trade for trade capital anyway? The 49ers are going for it now. They would want a player in return, and so you're looking at a disgruntled player at another play. It's not happening with the Lions. Sure, it would make the offense nearly unstoppable. They're nearly unstoppable anyway.
Yep. That's the ultimate. You don't have to be desperate.
Yep.
You don't have to go out there and try and figure out what you need. I think that next assessment happens just before the trade deadline based on any in-season injuries, knock on wood, that you may sustain, or if there's a player who's not quite working out the way that you thought and you believe that can be detrimental to your ability to get to the Super Bowl. But I just think that they're robust. And I do believe they got the like the proper insurance around that as well. Like I like what the Lions are. I believe in the Lions. Super Bowl run.
And you know what else I believe in? A haircut from Lady Jane's. Am I right?
Yes, sir. It's awesome, man. Just as awesome as the Detroit Lions winning a Super Bowl. It's when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Just stop in, sit back and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It's 24/7 professional monitoring, so you can call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed, because it is technology that's backed by people, and your safety and security, it deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who've been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Chat family, thank you guys for supporting the Woo Crew this morning. It's been a good show, and we're talking more Detroit Lions. I think Broder put the proper bow, put kind of this whole Brandon AIYUK thing to us. I know it became a point of conversation on this show before, just kind of, shoot the can, but it just doesn't realistically work. And I think it's because of what Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Cole have already done for this squad in just 3 short years.
It was never real. That's the thing about the Brandon AIYUK. We've had some trade talks that we've indulged ourselves in that seem kind of realistic, but the Brandon AIYUK thing, it's not something that either team I think would do. Although, as you said, if you're the 49ers and that offer was actually given, you'd consider it. But no way, there is no way in hell that Brad Holmes would offer that deal. No chance.
None at all. None at all. We got some other Lions NFC North news, and I know you got some videos and things here that you had on the docket, Broder. Where'd you want to go from here? Because I know we got that Jordan Love news as well.
You pick.
Let's talk about Jordan Love, man.
Deal.
Because we talked about how Brad Holmes has really kind of cornered and set the market for the wide receivers and now for the QB market after we saw Jared Goff get his deal. And now we get the news yesterday that Jordan Love is holding out for a new contract deal. He's holding out of practice right now until he gets his new deal. We hear news that a new deal is supposed to be on the way, that they might be close.
Yeah.
But then in the report, the caveat was, but you never know. I don't even know why you put that one little caveat in the end. You never know. But one of the other reports as well is that he could be the highest paid quarterback of all time after this.
Man.
Hey,
and as I said,
Jordan Love off of one half a season.
As I said yesterday, Jordan Love, get your money. Ask for $70 million. Why not? Come on, get your money, King. Don't settle for a penny less. And you hold out as long as you possibly can. No, but in all seriousness, it does sound kind of wild, the thought of Jordan Love and highest paid quarterback ever. If I'm Jordan Love, what do I think he realistically should get based off of the market? I'm even taking the market into consideration. 50 a year? I think if you're the Packers, you would probably do that, especially because I think there is a future with Jordan Love leading the Packers that leads to a lot of winning. However, Jordan Love probably wants more than Trevor Lawrence at this point. He probably wants more than a Jared Goff. He shouldn't want more than Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow, but hell, maybe he will. We just don't know. But he probably sees it as he has all the leverage, because what the hell else are they going to do? Because regardless of what you think of Jordan Love, regardless if you think that it was a flash in the pan, they've got tape on him, it was only one good half a season, Jordan Love did his job. He proved that he has at least earned the right to maybe be the quarterback of the future for the Green Bay Packers. In the 9 games that he played in the second half of the regular season and then the first playoff game, do you know what Jordan Love's numbers were? 23 touchdowns, 1 pick, while leading the team to a 7-2 record, resurrecting them from the dead. And then that 7-2 record includes that playoff win in which he threw for 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. So in that regard, even though we got the brunt of it when he came to Ford Field and had himself a hell of a day, isn't it kind of a good thing that he played so well that he might end up getting a contract that's more expensive, that's approaching the Joe Burrow type? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
hey,
he's got, in the modern NFL, in the modern market, you could adjust things to where it would make sense for him to at least ask for that. I don't think he deserves it, but it's the modern quarterback market. It keeps getting set with Jared Goff, with Trevor Lawrence. And then we're going to see it with Jordan Love and Dak Prescott and Tua Tagovailoa. It's interesting, man.
It is the market, and I fully expect him to get more than Burrow and more than Trevor Lawrence. Like, I think he's going to reset the QB market, not because he's better than Joe Burrow yet, but because just that's the way it goes. It's such a fascinating contract situation that he's been in since he joined the league. You know, he played out 3 years of his contract. They gave him this team-friendly extension that was also, you know, a second life-changing contract, $13.5 million guaranteed, as they got to evaluate Jordan Love in a full season. They now get to make their decision on a quarterback after having a true evaluation period on him. And Jordan Love, he now gets to have waited a year and now earn the bag that he's about to get. I think if it was in the $50 million range or less than 55, this deal would have already been done. I don't think there's a diva situation going on, but I don't understand why this deal hasn't gotten done yet. And like, if I'm Jordan Love, like, here, I'll go this in the vein of the rivalry. I'll go here. If I'm Jordan Love, you already got that contract. If I really want to turn things around and solidify this team, you know, going up against the Lions at the top of the NFC North for years, I'm signing a deal early. I'm doing, maybe it's 50 or whatever. I'm signing it. And I'm convincing them to have kept Aaron Jones and pairing Aaron Jones with Josh Jacobs. Like, how do you let Aaron Jones out of that building? Because at the end of last season, when Jordan Love was the hottest, and he played phenomenal, this is nothing against Jordan Love, Aaron Jones was the best running back in football for the last 6 weeks. If you have a two-man tandem of Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones, you let A.J. Dillon walk. Like, there are things that could have been done if he was really serious to make the Packers a true contender. But I think he's getting $60 million.
Yeah, Burn in the super chat, $5 super chat. He said Packers botched this. They should have signed him last year, but they tried to time the market and they got burned. Well, enjoy your one and dones, Green Bay.
They didn't fully know what they had.
That's what's so hard. Yeah,
they had the benefit of seeing him in practice and for the last couple of years and seeing him behind Aaron Rodgers, but you never truly know until he gets out there. And if the season ended in week 9. He would have been like, man, do we have our quarterback of the future? Yeah. Week 10 on, you're like,
you're right.
Do we have like the league MVP of the future?
Well,
it was two different quarterbacks. That's my argument in the Love and Goff debate. Not that we need to go there. It's just we've seen two completely different quarterbacks. One is a top 5 in the league, and the other is a bottom 10 in the league. Which one is it? I think it's probably closer to the top 5 in the league. He looks like he's the real deal, but we just don't know yet. So to commit $250, $300 million, if I'm the Packers, I'm waiting until I'm sure.
Jeez. And that's what I was going to say, that echoing just the same sentiments. All of our opinions, if we're being real as Lions fans, I know we love to hate on the Packers. We're going to hate on whoever their quarterback is. But what we saw him from game 1 to the second time we played him, we all knew, like, crap. If we're being real, we all said, man, they got their quarterback.
Well, and I wanted to continue this over the airwaves because I had to talk about it a little bit on BDE yesterday, but you post some interesting things in the chat because I don't necessarily love the whole one good. I hear even one good 7 games or one good half the season. I think that's underselling him a little bit because he wasn't just good in the second half. Aaron Jones helped, as you said, he was great as well. He was what MVP Aaron Rodgers was in the second half. However, when you talk about one good half a season, your point was something I also mentioned. When we went into Lambeau Field, and by we, I mean the Lions, and kicked their ass, we're just, like, all of us fans, and we all were doing it. I don't care who you guys think you are. We were all doing it like, oh, Jordan Love, he's a bum. Good luck, Packers. Bye-bye. But later on, when he came into Ford Field and aided by some turnovers, but also threw 3 touchdowns, no picks, and had some beautiful throws to Christian Watson in particular, we're like, oh, crap. So that's more what you meant, where it's like, especially considering it was his first season as a starter, that for part of the season, for one game, and the Lions matchups were the perfect microcosm of this. Again, at Lambeau, Jordan Love looked terrible. At Ford Field, many weeks later, Jordan Love looked phenomenal. So that's where we can break bread a bit and say, yeah, I get it when you say he had one good half a season, but it wasn't one good half a season. It was one phenomenal half a season.
And shout out to the Detroit Lions as well, because we know that second game, their secondary was, for lack of a better term, Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
But they have gone out and they have done everything in their power to make sure they beef up that secondary. We know that you draft potential. You also go to free agency for your needs. They went out there and said, we're going both routes. We're going to draft them. We're going to sign them. And this secondary is going to be vicious, especially when you're adding it to what you've already done. Some heavy, hard hitters like Brian Branch, man, like Iffy. This secondary is a different secondary. And I think Packers fans, like as we're giving Packers fans a little bit of love as it relates to who Love may be, you got to understand, Love is not facing the same secondary that you marched in the Ford Field and faced last time. And Goff is not going to have the same kind of terrible day at Ford Field that he had that day. That formula, that recipe is never happening again. So Love has to be exactly what those second half stats were last year, or else I do believe the Detroit Lions defense is going to give him a hectic time.
Just imagine if they sign him to the richest quarterback contract and it doesn't work. I'm not
because the Lions. Think about that too. If it's because of the Lions that it doesn't work.
Yeah, if Aiden and Houston and Aleem and DJ Reader are just like harassing him all day, that would be absolutely phenomenal. And that is what we want. That would be great. And that is, if you're the Green Bay Packers, the risk that you take in signing Jordan Love to this type of contract. I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback who's potentially about to get this kind of deal that is as unproven as Jordan Love. It's crazy because, in the totality of the season, they were 9-8, he had 32 touchdowns, won a road playoff game. That's a really, really good year. But it came after some really, really rough stretches at the beginning of the season where we were all thinking that Jordan Love was a bum and one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Shout out to him for turning it around, but as we always say, there's more tape on him. The Lions in particular have a better secondary. They got Terrion Arnold as the rookie and Carlton Davis and Amik. Another year of experience for Branch, Iffy, and Kirby Joseph. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the same old Lions secondary.
You're preaching today, man.
Yep.
Cooking.
Yep.
Absolutely cooking.
No more Sutton
Let me
toast.
see it. Let me see it, Sam. Let me see it, Sam. Come on, do it for the people. Cook up, boy.
Side note, before we move on, when Ezekiel Elliott used to do that after every first down. No, he used to do like this bowl. That used to get on my nerves. Do you know what else used to get on my nerves about Zeke Elliott? And I'm just going to do it again.
Oh, his crop top.
Take any time you want to bash any Cowboys.
Hop it in the Salvation Army pot.
Thank you. Because you know what I heard? You know what I heard? The broadcast giving him wet kisses about how Zeke Elliott, he is so charitable. The way that he jumped into that Salvation Army bucket will increase donations by the millions. Zeke Elliott is not that guy. He is not Gandhi in football cleats. It was a douchey celebration. He wore a crop top belly shirt to the draft.
Flannel, what did you have for breakfast, bro?
I actually had a protein bar. It's been pretty good. No, but
one of the oats. That's what he had.
If you guys don't mind, there's a question that Broder posed in this segment that I wanted to talk about.
Yes, sir.
But I want to do it after the break. Ooh, everybody good with that?
Definitely good with it.
Absolutely. Good with it. So tell us about Swiss.
Hey, you know what? No more Swiss cheese for this Detroit Lions defense, man. Because they got some insurance now. I can tell you where to go get your insurance now more than ever. It is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance to make sure that your current carrier is not slipping in any extra fees. Or raising the deductibles.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it today.
Call Mark at Swiss Insurance.
He was ready for it.
That number 313-530-1698. Or visit them online, SwissINS.com, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Take that. Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Hey, did somebody say merch?
Merch.
Yo, head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week. But let me tell you about the ones we got up here on screen. We got the Stoke Not Scared. And you know my favorite, hashtag Boodum Kids.
Boodum Kids
is out right now to replace that Welcome to Detroit sign shirt that you probably got in your closet as of right now.
Double
boom. See, double boom right now. Trade deadline is coming up, so you know we got the Woodward Tigers as well too. Hopefully they're buyers. Hopefully they're a little bit of sellers as well at the same time. But whatever it is, go over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab, get swagged out. New designs every single week, baby.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Up here on the desk with my guy, Flannel Sam. He is the vet of the squad, really the vet of the network, man.
One of them at this point. Hey, it's fun, you know?
Facts. Yeah. Shout out to Flannel Sam. It's your boy, Brandon Day, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer. Dante151 Super Chat, $9.99. Said one
Shout
of the interceptions that Love had thrown last season, it was picked off by former Raider and current Lion, Amik Robertson, by the way. Also, Love reminds me of Brett Favre, where he has good throws, then WTF.
That's fair. And Amik, go get another one.
Go get another one.
No, but that's a great point. And before I get to the question I was going to ask, one thing that I want to say, and I know I'm going to defend Jordan Love a little bit. People are going to be like, oh, Sam's the Jordan Love lover, but no pun intended. But I see this from Eduardo O'Neill in the chat, and I've even seen this a lot with him over social media. I think he's being a little bit too hard on Jordan Love's playoff interceptions at San Francisco. Acts like it was the biggest meltdown of all time. My thing is, in his first ever playoff game, he got a road win at Dallas. And then, yeah, those interceptions were bad, but it's not the craziest thing in the world for a first-year starter to have a playoff flameout. I mean, and this isn't hate. In Jared Goff's first ever playoff game in 2017, he led his team to 13 points in a home playoff loss to the Falcons. Peyton Manning was 0-3 in his first 3 playoff games, and Tom Brady in his first playoff run in one of the games at Pittsburgh, he got injured. The Patriots had 2 return touchdowns and a Drew Bledsoe touchdown pass. It's not easy. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I think that's fair. Although those interceptions, speaking of the WTF stuff, that's what you're talking about. But Broder, I wanted to pose this question to you. What would a Jordan Love extension mean for the rest of the Packers roster?
It's a fascinating question, and I know you have some deeper details on it, but I like to look at it, especially comparing to Jared Goff and the Lions. Goff, a veteran quarterback, he gets his bag while the young Lions are developing and eventually going to hit their next stride. Jordan Love, although he is an older young quarterback, because he's had some experience sometimes sitting behind Rodgers, he's coming up with a really young team too. I believe it's the youngest team in the NFL, actually, maybe the youngest starter. So when we're talking about eventually extending, and not all first-round picks, and in fact, mostly outside of the first round, the Christian Watsons, the Jaden Reeds, the Dentavian Wickses, eventually Kincaid,
Luke Musgrave.
Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. There is some strategy, and I haven't broken down their salary cap. They have a lot of mouths to feed eventually. And getting this done with Jordan Love first, I don't know yet if it's the best move or the easiest to then operate around, but they got a lot of money to spend in the next couple of years on the weapons around Jordan Love, not even considering they need to bolster the interior of their offensive line.
Well, that's the point, is that we know how great the Packers have drafted pass catchers in the last couple of years. 6 of them. Their 6 top leading receivers were either rookies or second-year players last year, and none of them were first-round draft picks. Not a one, which is pretty crazy in that regard. However, what that means is right now you will probably be able to withstand a Jordan Love extension. However, when it comes time to pay the other guys, not all of them are going to be able to join you on the journey. By then, you're probably going to have to choose between Luke Musgrave or Tucker Kraft. You might have to let somebody like Wicks walk, or Jaden Reed, or Christian Watson, who's had some injury concerns. Maybe he's the one. And that's kind of the point of the whole of your quarterback being extended. They're going to have to make some decisions, and that's where you really see what their GM Bryant Gutekunst is made of, if they make the right decisions. Also, on the offensive line, they don't have an offensive line as good as the Lions. They haven't drafted as well up front as the Lions have, but still, they've revamped their offensive line primarily through the draft. All 4 of them, besides for Elton Jenkins, are also on rookie contracts, and that doesn't even begin to mention who they drafted in the first round last year, Jordan Morgan.
I like that pick.
Yeah, that was a really good pick for them, because one of theirs, I believe it's Sean Ryan, their guard. He was drafted. He's played 3 seasons. He wasn't a first-round draft pick, so this is his undrafted, his unrestricted free agent year. This is his potential walk year. So I guess the point of all of it is that there's going to be a lot of players that the Packers have right now that might not be able to join them on the journey when their contracts go up. To me, this means that there's some urgency. There's a window. And I didn't even mention on defense. Quay Walker's been a really good defensive player for them. Devontae Wyatt. You got rookies Edgerrin Cooper and Javon Bullard. When they're all under rookie contracts, that's pretty damn tantalizing. But I also think it gives the Packers more urgency to capitalize on this window right now, because if they don't get it in a couple of years, maybe Jordan Love's contract starts to cripple the franchise. We never know, but it is also not something that's unique to any franchise. If you get a quarterback who you want to be your signal caller long-term, you're going to have to pay him eventually. And now, if you're good, you're going to get astronomical amounts of money, like life-changing.
Man, I want to be able to contrast it as well, because you're looking at, we're talking about what the Packers have to do from this point forward.
Yeah.
And the fact that whether they had to take the time to wait to see what Jordan Love was or not, they're not necessarily in the best position for their future and their long-term roster construction. Man, what a job Brad Holmes has done as GM of the Detroit Lions. And they stated it, our job and our goal is to build this team to have long-term success, not just right now. And that's what's crazy, is that, with some of these other sports teams, it takes a longer rebuild time to get that foundation to the point where you can have that long-term success, locking your players, your stars, your role players to some time. But the Lions, they've done this in football, bro, in 3 years. After us seeing our squad try to get to this point for 60-plus years, man. Like, it's insane what Brad Holmes has done. And then to have just the other aspect of it. Because it's not luck that you have to have involved with this. It's the culture. It's an intentional culture that they have that other free agents were like, you know what? I want to be here. I'll even take a discount. Oh, this is the first stop on the free agency tour? Sure, lock me in the facility. I ain't going anywhere anyway. I like it here. This is where the Detroit Lions are. So they have, whether they got to go out there and spend the money on their own players, or whether they're going into free agency and they've convinced the league that this is where you want to play football, or you go into the draft and every player recovering is shooting out little overtures to the Detroit Lions. They're in such a great place, and they're not at all in any type of cap sheet hell.
No, and the best part is I mentioned the drafting that the Packers have done, and they've done a good job, especially with the pass catchers. With the Lions, you've seen the fruits of this even more so than the Packers after just 3 seasons. They were a second half implosion away from going to the Super Bowl. And oh, by the way, the two of the players that the Lions drafted, which the Packers have not done as of yet, have become bona fide superstars. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Penei Sewell. How do I know? Because they were both first-team All-Pro. And they got their extensions that they absolutely 100% deserved. We know that, barring injury, of course, that these are going to be future cornerstone picks. People are already calling Penei Sewell a future Hall of Famer, which I'm not mad at. People are saying that Amon-Ra St. Brown has the Hall of Fame trajectory, which I'm not mad at. You can't quite say that about Packers pass catchers yet. Not even close.
I love how you said it with a little smile on your face, too.
Yeah, not even close. Jaden Reed seems like a damn good player. Christian Watson, I think, is a healthy season away from being a 1,000-yard receiver. Romeo Doubs as well, but they're not Amon-Ra. None of their offensive linemen are in the same stratosphere as Penei Sewell. They're not even playing the same game at this point. So, yeah, with the Packers, they have a window. They've got a lot of young players on rookie contracts who are very good, solid contributors. I mean, receivers especially. Jordan Love doesn't have the season he has without them. It was impressive how they were able to grow together. But the long-term health of the franchise, you might be looking at them have to get rid of Kenny Clark before they want to. Jair Alexander, their corner, he has an out after this season, after this next season. Elton Jenkins is another one who they might have to release. Rashawn Gary, he's got a potential out after next season. Preston Smith and Xavier McKinney as well. Those might be guys that the Packers have to release before they want to. And if that's the case, you better hope that Lucas Van Ness turns into a damn good pass rusher. You better hope that Edgerrin Cooper and Javon Bullard live up to their hype. I like those draft picks, and I think Lucas Van Ness has a solid future, but I'm mentioning right now a lot of names, a lot of guys who have been big contributors, who will be big contributors to this team that might not be on the journey in a couple of years. And what makes it even worse for them is that I don't think anybody thinks the Packers are a Super Bowl contender this year. I think we all think they'll get the wild card spot. And what does the wild card spot mean? A really effing hard journey to the Super Bowl and lots of road games.
Yep, and it's not going to be easy for them. In my opinion, they're going to have a season similar to last year where they at least get one of those games from the Lions to have a chance. If they, I forget how it shook out, but I believe if they didn't win that game against the Lions, I think they miss out. I got to go back and look at it, but I thought that they missed out.
Absolutely. The Lions game, it was the game before against the Chargers and then the game at Ford Field, which really propelled the Packers into their end of the season run, in which they obviously played really well and made their way into the playoffs. Yeah, if the Lions win that game, the Packers have... If the Lions win that game, and I hate to play this one because now it sounds like, now I'm doing the butterfly effect completely. If the Lions win that game, maybe Jordan Love isn't as highly thought of. Yeah. Maybe he's not asking for...
He doesn't get the playoff performance.
But it also might mean that he doesn't develop into what we know him as. It's really weird. I hate to play this game because we don't want to do what ifs. Yeah. It is what... We only want to live in realities. We don't want to live in a what ifs, but that final season push might end up being not as beneficial for the Packers in the long term as you think. But at the same time, maybe Jordan Love is the next Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he is. I don't think he is, for the record. I don't think, because Aaron Rodgers don't just grow on trees, but it's the risk that they have to take. They have no choice. What else are they going to do?
They just keep growing. They don't grow the same quarterback, but they grow quarterbacks on trees. So it's just like, man, to see even Jordan Love have the type of success he did late in the season, and I didn't know it was just one interception in those last stretch of games. That's insane. Hopefully the Detroit Lions, we know that Meek was the one that got that one.
Yep.
Let's follow that up this year.
Hey, Amit, get another one.
Get another one.
Get another one. Why not? How about Kirby, Terrion, Carlton Davis? Get some more.
Hey,
another one.
Because Jordan Love, I think his future is going to project to somebody who, even if he is really good and a perennial Pro Bowler, I think he's one that's going to put some up for grabs on a fairly regular basis. That's just what I've seen.
I'm so glad you said that because what just popped into my mind is last year, that second game versus the first game, the difference to me was the containment of Jordan Love. And this year we got dogs on the defensive line, even more so than last year. And you got contract year bump Aleem McNeil, who I'm starting to hear more and more national people start to talk about as, yo, you got to look out for him. If they have him under duress and can actually turn these pressures into more and more QB hits, more and more QB knockdowns, and more sacks. Yes, Jordan Love, and you're talking about now throwing into an improved secondary. And you guys know I love my linebackers who we're looking for them to improve internally. But right now, based on everything we're hearing, they're supposed to. Jordan Love is going to have a much more difficult time playing against the Detroit Lions next year.
I'm calling for 2 total interceptions by the Lions against Jordan Love next year. 2 total.
Let's go.
That's not crazy either. That's actually pretty reasonable. And hell, that might not even mean that the Lions win both games, but I think they're gonna get Jordan Love for a couple.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that, man. Detroit Lions talk, man. This feels good. I can't wait. Games are gonna be played soon. Where are we going, man? What business we got?
You know what? I'll tell you what. Do you know who we could also use on the Detroit Lions? Remember that Mark White commercial with those insane hops that he has?
And he got hands.
Hey, he's got hops in hands. Get Mark White a contract. But no, for real.
Mark White over Brandon AIYUK. All day.
That's you're being aggressive. But he's probably a better value. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had to spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Known for their quality hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. Soroki's just had their grand opening in Madison Heights. Be sure to stop in and try at a mega station near you or go to Sorokis.com.
What up, dog? People, welcome back. It's Wake Up Woodward. It's been a good show. The sun is shining. I'm hoping you guys' day has started off good. I know ours has, and it's been because you guys supporting. Let's zoom straight on through that light goal today because this chat family, that woo crew, man, it's the best in the game. So let's rock, man. Just like our Detroit Lions, 47 days away from Lions versus Rams. And we get our first taste of actual Lions football August 8th, preseason game.
Oh, man. That's a tough one. Am I looking forward to preseason or no? I guess... Oddly enough, I think the thing I'm probably looking most forward to is seeing if Hendon Hooker plays. And I know he might not be a part of the Lions' future at all, but I'm just curious.
4-game Hooker season.
They need a backup quarterback.
They do.
We kind of need him to be decent.
Yes, you do.
I love Mason Nate Studfeld. You guys know.
Oh,
not
God.
on the field though.
You know
this
what?
is preparing for the week with Goff. They need a backup. You have to.
Let's talk about that because that's a great point. That is a great point. As much as we talk about what we want to see from Hendon Hooker and the fans that believe he could still be the Lions quarterback of the future, no matter what they do with him in the future, they need him to be as dependable as we thought Teddy Bridgewater was going to be last year. They need that this year. The expectation is Super Bowl. If Jared Goff goes down, we all understand that that's going to be a big blow to that type of a run, and we knock on wood. But who is Hendon Hooker when he steps into the game? So I do believe that this preseason is a lot more important than people may give it credit for. Because I've heard some people say, well, if he plays good, it doesn't matter because what are the Lions going to do with him? It's like, but like you just stated, they need a backup quarterback, especially for this season.
Well, and I've heard a lot, and in some cases this is true. Don't get me wrong. In some cases this is very true that if you lose your starting quarterback, you might as well just forfeit the rest of your games. But tell Cleveland that. I'll just say Cleveland had enough of a roster around them, even largely a lot of the season without Nick Chubb, to still make the playoffs, even though you know who their quarterbacks were last year after Deshaun Watson went down? In between Deshaun Watson and Joe Flacco, there was Dorian Thompson-Robinson, P.J. Walker, and I'm even seeing numbers for Jeff Driscoll, a.k.a. my mailman, who also played first base for the Detroit Tigers on a Sunday. No, but seriously, they were able to do that because they had other pieces around. They had a defense that could hold teams. And then when Joe Flacco became a bit of a revelation at the end of the regular season, they were able to go on a hot streak. So having a backup is very valuable. You might think, obviously, Hendon Hooker is not going to be able to run this offense as well as Jared Goff if Jared Goff gets hurt. Obviously, knock on wood. But you want somebody who can, at the very least, keep it afloat so that the Lions can make the playoffs because they have a talented roster. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl if Jared Goff goes down, but can they make the playoffs maybe? We shall see.
I really don't want Ryan Tannehill on this roster. I don't know what I want more, Hooker to work out and be a competent backup or just because Ryan Tannehill could be that guy. I don't want him.
Yeah, and obviously, Hendon Hooker, we hope that this is a person that gets no playing time during the regular season, but is there to be a reliable backup if needed. And J-Mo, though, is another guy, though, that we hope gets a lot of playing time. But the common thread between the two of them is the fact that the Detroit Lions have these two players in number 2 spots that are very, very important as it relates to a Super Bowl run. I know, JB Smooth, both of those players mean a lot to you. You got Hendon Hooker's shirt on. Both of these players, man, they're being put in a position right now where the Detroit Lions are saying, we got faith in you. Go out there and prove this thing.
They got faith in him, and honestly, you'll see it during this preseason. Obviously, I do think Hooker's going to have some rust with him as well, too, recovering from this injury, but still trying to be out there and play during these practice games that they have had in these scrimmages. I do think it will work out, but it's going to take some time. This will be a development process for this QB as well, too. But I don't think the learning curve is far off from him as well. He's had a little bit of time to kind of get used to the team and Jared Goff as well, too. So I just think that this preseason, he's just going to have to go out there and ball out and show us that he can and will be capable of backing up Jared Goff whenever, if ever, knock on wood, he does not go down. Just saying.
Chuck Brewer said, no, we do want Hooker to get 5 to 6 games this year. He gets reps in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
And I was going to ask you, I was like, how reasonable is that for Hendon Hooker this season?
Probably not. Yeah. That's a lot of blowouts. This is the National Football League. This isn't last year's Michigan team playing Indiana.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple times, sure. If the Lions have a game in hand and they have a 20-point lead with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they have the ball, I'd love to see Hendon Hooker at least get in there. He'd probably just be handing the ball off, but it's interesting. The more Jared Goff plays well, and obviously parlay that with the extension, the more we think that Hendon Hooker probably isn't going to be somebody who's on this team long term, because in his eyes, he probably wants to start somewhere. He probably feels that there are teams that are playing right now. He probably feels he could be better than Bryce Young. He probably feels like he could be better than Daniel Jones. Different circumstances, but at some point, I think Hendon Hooker's going to want to get his shot, but probably not with the Lions.
I wonder how he looks behind his Detroit Lions offensive line.
Oh boy,
We're
you're doing it.
I'm not buying it. I can't do it. Broder's face, in some parts, like it looks like, you know what? That would be a good thought, but shame on you, Kool-Aid. Shame on you, Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
JB's like,
Hey,
Wally Pipp. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm predicting blowout at least majority of these games. So you got Hooker in the fourth quarter.
Majority of these games. Okay, JB.
JB Smooth cooking up, man. Yo, it is.
What did you have for breakfast?
Right.
You asking me?
Yeah,
Had that Powerade. That's
Kool-Aid and cornbread.
Cocaine in the can.
No, but that's honestly to me the number one reason to watch preseason, because we didn't see a preseason from Hendon Hooker last year because he was recovering from an injury. So we shall see. I don't usually take too much out of it, but if I'm that starved for football, it'll be a nice, almost off-brand version. Like you go to Kroger and you want Dr. Pepper, but you get Dr. K instead.
Oh, no.
Maybe even a lesser version. Not even Faygo. You get Dr. K. Or you get Faygo Cola.
Or RC Cola.
RC.
No, gross.
Royal Crown. Or there was this health food store in my hometown of Springfield, Illinois. It was called Food Fantasies. It was like vegan and all of that. I don't even know why I ever went there. I went with my parents back in the day. Their off-brand Dr. Pepper was called Dr. Becker.
Oh my God!
What? Preseason Lions football. That's Dr. Becker.
Okay, just met her.
Look, man, I know we're going to have to get the break soon.
It's fun.
USA Today just put out their NFL 2024 predictions. What are your thoughts on the NFC North?
You want to save that? Do you want to save that for another day?
Might as well.
Yes.
Man,
Save that
I'm fired up now, and I'm pissed.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Maybe
boy.
Y'all done got Kool-Aid hot.
we got the rest of the week to talk
We do.
about that. We need to devote segment, maybe segments plural for that.
Yeah.
I know you want to. It's 9. It's what's trending time, man.
What business do we got? Oh my gosh. I'm
We got
so
the
mad
Boys
at
and
USA
Girls
Today.
Club.
The Boys and Girls Club, of course. Thank you so much, JB.
Let me send this to Broder now.
Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM. 3C Sports.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. You can catch him every Tuesday on Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts, Dr. Jeff Pierce. He's here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. And we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off today with the crew. I'm telling you guys, this is something you want to be at, especially at hole number 17. I see some of you all in the chat who already understand what it is. Continue to convince the people, the rest of the chat family, that they want to be at this tournament, especially hole 17 on the last day. Concert, $2 birdie beers, and more. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. I can't wait, but we got to get cooking, man. We got to get cooking. Let's rock. Oh,
Now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Let's rock. What's up with the mischievous laughter, man?
Oh, have I got some stuff for you today? But first and foremost,
Flannel's looking around worried right now.
I know. Sorry, Glenn. First and foremost, Broder, you brought this up earlier. Shout out and congratulations to Amon-Ra St. Brown's girlfriend, Brooklyn Adams, for passing her registered certified nurse exam, becoming a nurse. They actually threw a party for her as well, too, as you can see in this video that they put out.
I think I'm gonna put it on mute if you can.
Oh yeah, I got you.
I'm sure you would get or whatever his name is.
Yeah, a couple of Lions players attended as well too. Nice gifts that she received as well. So once again, shouts out to Brooklyn Adams, Amon-Ra right there.
Aw,
supporting boyfriend. Come on. How could you How could you dislike this couple? Come on. Now.
Does she remind? Is it wrong to say she reminds me a little bit of Ayesha Curry?
She kind of looks like her.
A little bit.
She kind of looks like her. Yeah.
We'll leave it there.
A little bit. A little bit. But now, let's get into the craziness that's going on right now. First off, let's start off with another episode of Will They Sign It with Tom Brady.
Oh boy.
So Tom Brady was presented a Eli Manning jersey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't do it, Tom.
He signed it, but he signed it F off.
Did you?
And then it went to Eli.
You cross it out.
He signed it F off.
He signed it as well too.
Did you see the flashbacks? As soon as the jersey popped up, you could see everything, man.
Oh, just wait, because he signs it at the bottom right.
They slap a piece of gum on it, like David Tyree's helmet.
Right. No. So Tom Brady wrote F off. Eli signed it, but also put good game at the end. Tom Brady also signed it.
I bet it was for you, you bastard.
But look at his face, though. Look at Tom Brady, bro, when the jersey first pops up. Bro, those are nightmares.
Like, come on,
those
man.
are nightmares.
Like, come on, dog.
I know, let's all cry for Tom Brady.
That man should have 9 rings. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Okay.
Come on,
man,
Flannel,
7 isn't enough for him.
Support your Michigan man.
Well, he only has 7.
You can support your fellow Michigan man, Flannel.
All right, fine, 8, but that one is a fluke. I'm sorry, that David Tyree catch is a fluke.
Maybe tell your...
He was out the league in 2 years.
Maybe, I got an idea. Maybe tell the best offense in NFL history to put up more than 14 points. Just saying. But that also leads to the point. It wasn't really Eli that won that game. It was that defense that put Brady in a body bag, which they did. They did. Shout out Steve Spagnuolo. Shout out Strahan.
No, it's that Patriots defense whiffing on 4 sacks on Eli Manning on the last couple on the final drive, bro. But go ahead.
Man, should have.
KG, did you lose money on that game?
Nah, just a little bit of my pride. That's
just
all.
a little pride.
Just a little bit of my pride.
Go blue still. What up,
Randy Moss should have a ring right now.
Randy Moss should have a ring. Sorry about that, Tom. You got to step your game up. But Kool-Aid, I got to ask, is this a foul move if you're playing basketball just, at the rec gym? You're on defense. You see my man has a bum knee. You grabbing the brace?
What?
Are you grabbing the brace?
Why did it look like Braylon? I thought it was Braylon for a
That's
second.
crazy.
It does kind of look like Braylon.
That is crazy, bro.
That's wild.
You don't grab nobody's knee brace, bro.
Why is my man this short trying to guard him, though? Like, y'all didn't have a better matchup for dog? Like, I don't understand.
But you grab the knee brace, though?
Yeah, that's wild.
That's
he
crazy,
just tossed the
bro.
ball. He mad as hell.
That's crazy. That's composure, too.
Bro, he probably been, like, aggressively fouling him the whole game. So you just see my man head shake. He tired at this point.
Yeah.
He tired of my mans at this point.
Bro, the dust, you can see, he was just like, I'm just desperate at this point in time. They got me guarding this 6'5" dude over here. Somebody help
He giving
me.
him all he can handle.
No, honestly, if you see somebody's got an injury or a brace or something like that, and you grab it in like rec league, you should be kicked out for at least a week. Dead serious.
Yeah, that's wild.
Because there's no reason that playing pickup basketball should lead to a catastrophic injury.
Not at all. Especially if you're the person that's making it more possible.
Yes.
Especially if you 4'12" guarding a 6 foot guy. Like, I don't understand.
Like, yell for help before you grab the brace, the knee brace. Goodness.
He tried hard. He tried hard, boy.
He tried hard. I gotta admit, that's a pretty foul move as well, too. This next one is it's a story I gotta report to you guys. So I'm sure all of us here have had exes. Some that, you know, the breakup hasn't gone over too well. Well, this girl is getting famous now for, shout out to World Star for this, sending an email to her ex's college trying to get him to lose his scholarship.
Oh.
Yes. The email writes, I suggest you drug test your players, blank blank, your newest commit, sells, distributes, and uses marijuana on a daily basis.
Broder looked up from the chat, dog. Broder looks concerned.
First off, he did some dirty shit to her, because when women get this vengeful, it definitely came behind something.
But if he has a path towards the NFL and he's just like, you know what, you're just not on that journey with me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that too.
But this is why you got to be careful, man, when you messing with women of this caliber.
Don't let her get
like
your cash,
Amon-Ra's dad said in Receiver, man, women are dream killers. They really are. Like, you got to be careful when you mixing it up out here, man.
Especially this psycho.
Yeah. Her reply wasn't any better as well, too, because she put this out.
That's some spiteful shit.
Yeah, but if he'll fail the drug test and lose his scholarship, so that's enough for me.
What?
Yeah.
And what was the email again? Go back to it.
The email suggests, I suggest you drug test your players, blank blank, your newest commit, sells, distributes, and uses marijuana on a daily basis.
She ain't just trying to mess with the scholarship. She's trying to make sure that this man's name is
She want him to
bro.
fail, man. He definitely cheated on her, because this don't happen. So
I don't know if there's any situation where a relationship, employer, you leave and then start talking shit. Like disgruntled employees, disgruntled exes. They got problems.
Hey, Ryan's reaction in the chat. This is why I bring up KDK. Don't let her do you wrong, man. Transition to that KDK long commercial, man. Don't let that woman do you wrong.
You see?
Hopefully you ain't put a ring on it though.
You see? Man. Don't let the woman do you wrong. And finally, I will end it on this. But
Maybe
guys,
he was at hole 17 at the Ally Challenge.
Yeah, for real.
You want to be there?
Yeah, he was at hole 17. All right.
Guys,
that's why she mad.
He even got fed on the laugh.
He was on hole 17 for sure, and she was pissed off, boy. Damn, that's fucked up. Go ahead.
You're right over there, Kool-Aid.
That's fucked up, man. It's hard out here, man. It's tough out here, man.
It's tough out here. My music lovers, I gotta know, you guys, have we failed in hip hop by not teaching the younger generation who the greatest rappers are?
Yes.
Have we failed?
Yes.
Well, apparently we failed pretty hard to make it on TV with Steve Harvey and Family Feud.
Oh no.
Who is the greatest rapper of all time? J. Cole.
Out of all the J's you could have said.
I mean, I'm not mad at that per se. Okay.
It's not the worst.
Yeah, it's not the worst
Z has
guess
to be
ever.
the next thing out your mouth.
He's a modern day GOAT.
Wow.
Well, Kendrick should be on that list.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Lil Wayne.
Okay, yeah. Wayne.
Lil Wayne has
he's
to be
one of
there.
the GOATs.
Incorrect.
After Tupac.
And this was the final list.
Oh boy.
Megan, who's the greatest rapper of all time?
Drake.
Wait, is that the artist? That's
Megan Trainor.
Megan Trainor, yeah.
Drake was not up there, by the way.
She needs.
Wait, Jay-Z was 8?
Yeah.
Wow.
If she's in the music industry, that's not okay.
Flip over this industry, I want to apologize to the entire hip hop community.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Jay-Z is last, everybody.
He's definitely need to be higher.
Snoop Dogg's number 1?
I mean, 50 Cent had a run. I can accept
I'll give it 50.
I can accept
Some credit.
50. LL Cool J.
What?
He's
Boy, number 4.
That
Dr.
is your top.
Dre.
Wrong order.
Those
Dr.
are
Dre
your
not
top
even
8,
a
by the
rapper,
way.
technically.
Dr. Dre, the producer,
Yeah,
cool.
but he's
The
not a
culture
rapper,
guy.
technically. Like, LL Cool J, the old heads would argue you LL Cool J, so I'm not necessarily mad about that, but You left off some names. I'll say that. You left off a lot of good names.
This is your top 8, everybody.
That's
that's
who'd they leave off? I mean, well,
Snoop Dogg, arguable, I guess. I wouldn't put him as like the greatest of all time. No, I wouldn't put him in that category, but he's up there. Like,
I was surprised that no Kendrick, because I was expecting these just like outer space answers, and I'm like, yeah, J. Cole, maybe that's a stretch, but Kendrick, I'm like, okay, he's obviously up there.
Well, if you look, these are all like older names, per se. So I think that's what they were going for, just like older.
Even with the older names, to me, it's still amazing to see rappers like Eminem, 50 Cent, and Jay-Z so far down the list.
Yeah, Jay-Z is 8.
Yeah, that's
to me, he could be 1. There's an argument for it.
Wayne need to be on there.
Yes.
You can argue Nas is up there. Like, it's a tough list, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
Well, Celebrity Family Feud was pretty tough and pretty brutal to watch. But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop into some mailbag.
Good job today with what's trending from my guy, Mr. JB Smooth. That's for O's 1V. Do we have any more business that we need to take care of?
Just Randy Wise.
All right.
Not those other guys.
Yeah.
So we'll take a quick break and we'll get back and do or do we just read this now?
We can just read it now. Yeah.
All right. How would you like to play the University of Michigan Golf Course with Braylon Edwards? It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today and you could round off our foursome at woodwardsports.com or scan the code on the screen. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive. And I got a question here too from Randall Smalls. I see it here, or not a question, but just a statement before we get into mailbag. $10 super chat. He said, also about the Ally Challenge, veterans get in free all 3 days and concert. Plus, they've had a tent with snacks, refreshments, all free to the veterans. So it's going to be a good time. Definitely want to see you guys down there August 22nd through the 25th, the Ally Golf Challenge. But let's get into this mailbag.
Yes, and sponsored by Feldman. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
All right, Dante151 earlier had it. Wait, sorry?
I said, let's go.
Oh, had a $20 super chat. No love for Aaron Glenn or Hank Fraley in terms of the VP if you were running for president. But anyway, if Colt Keith was doing that at the beginning of the season, he would be in the running for Rookie of the Year, no doubt.
Yeah, fact.
I'm going to turn that into a mailbag question. Does he have a shot at the Rookie of the Year, Colt Keith?
It's too far gone.
I'm trying to think who he's going up against.
By Langford, Paul
Skeens.
NL.
Skeens is running away with
Paul
that.
Skeens is NL, though.
Well, true.
I was going to say, and this is another one, and I don't mean to make this slander Wyatt Langford thing, because what he's doing, no minor leagues, that's very impressive. But this idea that if you would drafted him, he'd be one of the best players on the Tigers, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that Max Clark doesn't project to be better. Would Wyatt Langford have made the Tigers a better team this season? No doubt about it. But he's a very fine rookie who had no minors, which makes it more impressive. He's not a superstar already. That's all I'm saying.
Facts. Let's actually cut the Colt Keith Rookie of the Year debate. I think that's a segment we can have a little later on in the week. Bada bing, bada boom. Mailbag. Are we done with Torkelson? If so, Jack Flaherty and Shelby Miller to Milwaukee for Tyler Black and Brett Wikrowski. I'm not familiar with them, or I haven't dove deep. Do any of you guys know?
I'd have to dig a little bit deeper.
But are we done with Torque?
Well, the fact that what was his name? Was it Matthew Dent was at first baseman on Sunday? Was that him? Or was it Caleb Platty? Or was it my mailman? No, it was Bly or Blee Madras.
Blah.
That's pretty damning. Because Blee, have you seen his stats in Toledo this year? Have you seen his journey? He's 28 years old, journeyman. Yeah. And they're like, Spencer Torkelson, we don't need you. We need Flannel Sam's mailman at first base instead. So are we done with Torque?
I think
Depends on how September call-ups go, but I don't have a lot of faith.
If that mailbag question had not been asked, when's the last time any of us said his name?
You haven't.
That's crazy.
Valenti he had a pretty good scenario, or an interesting, thought-provoking scenario yesterday. He was talking about what if the Dodgers and the Tigers could just flip their kind of disgruntled top prospects, Torkelson for Gavin Lux, just to have a new home.
I don't want that.
I don't want Gavin Lux either, but
I don't want that.
I don't want Torque either at this point.
No,
Yeah,
I will at least say this. Gavin Lux last season had a 346 on base percentage, which is something that Torque never even sniffed even last year. So maybe there's something there. He's been hot lately. He had some big hits against the Tigers. It's just, I'll never get over just how much I hear about Gavin Lux, this future superstar, the greatest prospect Major League Baseball has ever seen. And I look at his numbers and I'm like, that's a whole lot of mid, and this year it's a whole lot of dog shit. Just being honest.
Just being honest.
Name like Tarzan, game like Jane. Go ahead, Broder.
DNC ENT. Mailbag. What, if any, wrinkles do you think will be implemented in the new kick return game by MCDC? Or do you think it will take a year for him to scheme it up? I'm personally more excited for the new kickoff rules than almost anything else. DNC, I'm with you.
They're not waiting no year. I know that much.
Yeah.
This organization has been one that's been hit the ground running, call our shots, go out there and do it. And they've looked like a team that's been ahead of the curve, at least on the offensive side of things. And they take special teams really serious. This organization does. And they have some weapons that I think benefit them with this new kickoff rule.
Yeah, they have some weapons. They could put Jameson Williams back there. They could put Jameer, which I doubt they would do. They could even Maurice Alexander. I don't know. To me, I'm not Khalif. I'm not as excited about the kickoff thing as everybody else. I was fine with it the way that it was, but hey, if you're gonna use it, we've all seen that the Lions take special teams seriously, and they've got some guys back there that can be difference makers. So if it works, my heart will soften a little bit to the new kickoff rules.
Is anyone else pounding the table to put JMO back there with me? I'm pounding.
I want to see it.
I'm pounding the table. Screw it. I'm not even gonna mess around.
I just don't want to risk extra chance of injury. That's all.
That too.
If he's going to be your number 2 receiver, I wouldn't risk it.
But it's like we're talking about one of the most electric weapons in the NFL. Here's your chance to guarantee he gets the ball in his hands.
I understand, but we got plenty of other people capable. You got DPJ, you got Khalif, who was pretty damn good last year. I think we'll be fine.
They're capable, but are they game breakers? And we know,
with new rules, they could be.
They could be, but that's the thing. If they could be game breakers based off the new rules, then that means that JMO could be an absolute
I understand
cheat code.
that, but JMO is not used to returning kicks. This is not something that he specializes in, per se.
One thing I do wonder, though, like with free throws or a layup and how that can help a basketball player get going, for a player who we are talking about will be our deep threat, does it help Jameson Williams being able to locate the ball, being able to get into a rhythm, catching a ball coming from further away? Does it help him at all? Does it help him get into a rhythm? Does it make him more comfortable catching the ball, being out there on the field before he ever takes a snap as a wide receiver? You know what I mean? Like, I think about that sometimes, like if this helps him at all. But I just think from a sheer skill standpoint, it could be electric, but I get you, man.
No.
You're going to keep him safe.
I'm not mad at it if it happens. I'm just saying I would rather, if it was up to me, I would rather just hold off on that. We got other people that can do that, so.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Keep him healthy.
Vaki, too, another guy that can maybe be that electric guy back there.
Yep.
Shawnee Vaki. What up, though, that dude, Justin?
How's it going? Well, I just wanted to announce something real quick. And a JB, if you could pin the comment I just put in chat real quick, it's a link.
Ah, yes.
So as you know, I announced yesterday we are having a college football 25 tournament tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And that link is a contest that you can enter in to be a part of the tournament. There will be one viewer selected to participate in the tournament against the likes of me, KG, Kool-Aid, JB, and so much more. I believe Easy's playing, so there's going to be a lot of fun to go around. And this is not, there will also be viewers represented by the host for the Soroki's gift card, but this person will represent themselves to try to win it themselves. So drop your information in there, and hopefully you win, and this will go off amazing, and we hope that you tune in.
Yeah, bring your hard hat.
Dope. I can't wait for this, man. I'm glad that you've taken the time to organize this as well. It's awesome. The more that we can bring to the network for the benefit of the people and their entertainment, as well as being able to win something, the better. So appreciate you. And sheesh, man, I'm up here looking at the highlights from this USA basketball game. I'm sorry, man. I know I'd be giving LeBron James a hard time, but a difficult time. That dude balled out yesterday.
He did. He closed the game.
Goodness gracious.
Can I say something about that? Because it's actually funny that I'm sitting in the chair as you reference this, because me and Flannel got into a big debate over this on Friday. I'll give LeBron his credit, though. I mean, Jordan was not doing stuff like this at LeBron's age. LeBron, 100% from three, 72% field goal percentage, 20 points in a Olympic level basketball game is absolutely crazy. With that much talent on the floor, he shines above all. So I don't know. Maybe I'm rethinking my GOAT a little bit.
Tell that to Maz.
I'm not rethinking that.
Maz
MJ
ain't
is
trying
still
to hear
that deal. He did it in an era where I believe teams walked. They slept. They dreamt. They breathed. Their nightmares was all defense. This is one of the softest eras in basketball, period, for defense. And it's been an era that, in my opinion, has been designed to cater to LeBron James' skill set, whereas Michael Jordan and everything he did when he was on the rise, the game wasn't catered towards him. The game was catered towards some of the other teams we saw winning and really keeping him down for like the first maybe 6 to 8 years of his career.
As long as you got him at number 2. That's
LeBron's
like
my number 2.
I've always said that if you want to put I have LeBron 1, but if you want to put Jordan 1, I'm not mad. I won't even argue. They both certainly have GOAT cases, but in my opinion, those are the only two that have real GOAT cases. And then it's a pretty big gap, and then you start talking about like the Kareems and et cetera, et cetera.
I think Tim Duncan is so underrated.
He is.
No, Tim Duncan's top 10 for sure.
Especially in my age group, people don't understand how good Tim Duncan was. And absolute, like he is Mr. Fundamental. The little things matter, and he is that is exemplified by him. Also, yes, it will. The video game NCAA tournament will be streamed on Woodward Sports, 7:15 or 7:30 on Wednesday. We'll have an official time tomorrow, but that's
how
what we're
pumped
thinking.
up are you, man?
I'm so excited. I can't believe it came to fruition. There was a little bit where it seemed like we were in shaky waters and it wasn't going to get done, but because it was supposed to happen last week, but we figured it out for this week. So I'm just excited that we got it done.
You know what? That's the lesson, I guess, in being prepared. You had all your notes. You had everything. You knew exactly how you were going to execute. Makes it easier for the network to just go, you know what? If we can trust Justin, let's rock. And you already know we all got your back, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Woo Crew all day.
Woo Crew?
Bring your hard hat.
Is it time to break this thing down?
Yeah.
Let's rock. Good show. Florida was on fire today. He was absolutely on fire.
MVP.
Straight from the start. MVP of the show, man. He was cooking, man, the vet of the squad. Chat family, you guys were on one as well. The super chats, the support, the engagement, the likes. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Woo Crew. Let's get this thing broken down. That dude, Justin, since you're still in the chair, what up, though, brother?
Hey, this one's for Eric Allen. I'm fired up!
Let's go!
For that NCAA tournament. Me and KG, JB about to put on some absolute games. Talk about game of the year type shit. Let's get it.
Let's rock. I will play. I am there for comedic relief. But shout out. I'm going to go to the booth, and then we either got a boom mic or make sure we get Broder back in there for his final goodbye. But shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick. That is KG in the sound booth. Great job today. I even saw that you got some love. I forgot who said it for the drop. The Cat Williams drop during his rant earlier.
Oh,
You were
timing impeccable, man. But what can I say? I'm the first round pick, man. So,
let's go.
But no, shout out to the chat. I appreciate all the love, man. Shout out to my team. Y'all awesome, man. We had a great show today. Looking forward to the rest of the week, and let's keep this shit rolling, man.
Let's go. Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP. In the booth on a Tuesday, that is JB Smooth, Crispy Lions hat.
On a Tuesday. Shout out to everyone in the chat as well. Justin in the back.
Moving and shaking. Shaking and moving.
For putting on everything with this whole college tournament that we'll have tomorrow, too. I can't wait. I still got to get some more practice in, though, man.
You better.
Just being real.
Y'all motherfuckers in trouble, I'm telling you.
Let's rock, man. We got the vet of the squad, Flannel Sam.
Hey.
Vet of the network, man. You continue to hold it down, being one of the most consistent voices here at the network for a very long time.
Yeah. Hey, that was a fun show. And yes, I am the gatekeeper of Mark Kim.
Let's go.
I'm with you.
Hey, you got Mark, I got Gio, man. It is
All
what
right.
it is.
Hey, they both have had their moments, that's for sure.
And I'll take Austin Hedges.
You know what?
Bunt King.
Thursday, we're going to have to make sure them phone calls are ready because I want people to be able to call in and say it with their chest. I see them chirping, but when Flannel gets going, y'all got to call in. It's epic entertainment. Shout out to that dude. To our credential. He was just sitting there in the chair. But our credentialed Tigers and Lions reporter and writer, Matthew Broder. Thank you, especially for everything you do for making sure this show is organized. Thank you, brother.
Lord, see you guys tomorrow. We'll get a great show.
It's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer. It's been a great show. Thank you guys for the support. Smash that like button on the way out. Be blessed. It's been Wake Up Woodward.